Am I live? Oh my goodness. It's like I don't know why this is so strange for me to do this by myself. I don't know. It's like it's not like I don't run a semi-weekly live stream on Wednesdays like a normal person. But whenever I have to do this show by myself, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, so good morning, everybody. So today is Friday, October 20th, 2023, and welcome to another edition of the Ragin to the Vlogs show. This is just going to be me today. Nita is again taking a tour of the United States healthcare system. And will not be available today. But let's all wish Nita a quick recovery and we can get back to our regularly scheduled nonsense. But for today, you're all just stuck with me and I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me. And we're gonna have a good time. So let me just find all my stuff here and we'll get this party started. So as always, I am never ready for this, but what the heck, hit it. Oh, hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. At least over here, it's another dreary Friday. It's raining, but we're gonna have a good time anyway. So let's see. So who's in the comments? Who's in the chat today? Jesus Christ! Oh, hello, Larry. Yes, Larry is in the house today. Hello, and John Celestri. Oh, a happy belated birthday to John Celestri. His birthday was yesterday, I think. So yes, thank you for still being with us. On another journey around the sun. Thank you so much, John. Happy birthday, and Grant is in as well. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Grant. Thank you. Yes, we are all wishing Nita well. She's now it's her turn to be hey Tom. Yeah, it's her turn to be in the hospital again. It's kind of like between her and C. They're all just like, okay, your turn, your turn, your turn. Hello, good morning, good morning. Yes, and I see you, my precious giant eyeball people watching me from regions beyond. If you are joining me from Facebook, if you are joining me from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Facebook has a tendency to act up on us as it did last week. And Twitter doesn't even allow us to see us, the royal us, doesn't allow us to see your comments at all. So if you want to join in the conversation today, um, uh, like I said, join everybody in the chat. It looks like it's going to be a very busy day. Everybody is making sure I don't completely make a fool out of myself today. Oh, hello, good morning. Yes, she does. Yes, but she is feeling better. Luckily, for those of you who are not on our Facebook, Nita had a stroke the other day. But luckily it was one of the milder ones. So all she has to, so right now, they have her, they're going to have her do like physiotherapy and speech therapy. She has a little weakness on her left side, but nothing catastrophic. So we could all thank goodness for that. So hopefully her recovery will be quick. Will be as quick as her temper. Let's just so yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, hello, Stormwolf. Hello. Yes, I wish I could watch it, but YouTube's fanaticism against ad blockers is preventing the video from showing, even though I had turned all ad blockers off. Yes, I started seeing that the other day as well. At first, I would get like this timed pop up saying that YouTube does not allow ad blockers, but the joke's on them because it was less annoying than actually watching their ads. So I just let it run and then it would start the video. What it started, then what happened is that they would try to force the videos through the ads. They would try to force the ads through, but again, I'm using an ad blocker. So I would just have a black screen, and I would just let that run and then the video would start running. So again, less annoying. I would rather have that 4 seconds of silence than having to see a fucking ad for whatever garbage they think I'd be interested in seeing. So so yeah. So YouTube is just they're trying to force everybody to get their YouTube premium, so I don't know. I'm gonna fight it until they force me to do something. I don't know. Let's see. They threatened to block playing videos if I didn't turn it off. Well, you know what? We'll see what happens, because you know what? I don't know which is worse, really. It's like I don't know if I want to like add one more thing to another one more subscription. Jesus Christ. How many it's like I hate this a la carte shit. Remember when we all said, "Oh, we want a la carte, we want a la carte," and now it's like, "Oh, no, I don't want a la carte." I'm so fed up with having it with all this nickel and diming that subscription all these subscriptions are forcing us to do. I freaking hate it. Yeah. So before we get too much into it, oh my goodness. Hello everybody. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome.
Figured that would be appropriate for today's topic. So I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter in 2024, with the brand new story arc Tears of the Mother, with the reissue of issues 1 through 5, plus the brand new issue 6. I'm going to be like finishing up soon. I just have to letter it and fix the cover, and then we're good to go on that issue. So I'm very excited about that. And I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama, Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which is currently on Kickstarter right now with the Unicorn King's daughter, formerly known as Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut. Actually, the Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut is still on the campaign. It's an actual supplement on the campaign. I was just using that title for the lols, but it just seems like Facebook advertising, Facebook ads did not like it at all. Actually, Facebook does not like the title at all. So it was giving me a hard time. So the campaign is now currently The Unicorn King's Daughter, which is actually the name of the main book on this campaign. So the link is in the show notes and in the chat, so you can check out that campaign. It's in its final week on Kickstarter. So if you want to pick up some alternate, very sexy alternate universe shenanigans in two issues, actually in 2 separate one shots, you can head on over to the link and check it out. You have until Friday to pick up your copies. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever any of our campaigns, not campaigns, well, that too, any of our videos go live. And remember, if you have, it's like if you're just hearing about us, just go to indiecomicsnetwork.com and that'll solve all your issues. Just takes you one domain to rule them all. So remember, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
.com.
There you go. So yeah. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so a lot going on. Like I said, Nita's not with us today. She's, but hopefully by Monday, she'll be kind of like back to normal, but maybe, I don't know the extent. She's gonna, like I said, she's gonna need physical therapy, but like I said, let's all wish Nita well. And we'll just try to do our best today. So there we go. So very exciting news for me. My books finally came in for Eagle Raven issue 7. After 7 weeks of waiting from the printer, I finally got my book, which I'm very, very happy to announce. Actually, once I got the books, I completely forgot being salty about waiting 7 weeks for it. It's like, you know what? Doesn't matter anymore. I got my books. I can ship them out. And actually, that's what I've been doing. I have half the campaign shipped out already. So hopefully by over the weekend I'll be able to get the rest of the orders out. I'm just waiting for more boxes to come in. I have to go buy more bubble wrap. So hopefully by Monday I'll have the last of the I'll have the last of the orders out. Although I got an email last night from one of my pledgers saying that it's like, oh, I got the books. They shipped really fast, but it's like I didn't get everything. And I go, oh no! In my rush, I was so mortified. In my rush to get everything out, I might have mixed up some labels from the initial 10 because I had 10 copies lying around. This is when I was still waiting for the books to come in, and I decided to like choose 10 people to send those books out, the issue 7, just so somebody can get something, right? And I don't know, I think maybe in my haste to get those 10 books out, I might have switched 2 labels. So they're saying, I just asked them to confirm what did they receive, because I could have sworn I sent them exactly what they were supposed to get, but I'm just asking them to confirm, and then it's like if there really is a mistake, I'm just going to send them another package out. So now that I have the books, I don't have to worry about that. So so it's all good. I mean, so hopefully that was the only mistake that I made so far. It's like usually I'm pretty good at sending out exactly what I'm supposed to. So so at least issue 7 is being is shipping out right now. If you did order a sketch cover, we're gonna have to wait until Jose gets his order for Oswald, because the printer had forgotten to do my sketch covers, my blanks. So, but he said that will be in Jose's order when he gets it. So hopefully over the weekend I'll get those sketch covers and get those out to you as well. But that the sketch covers are always going to take a little bit longer. So what else? Oh yes, I finally got to use a brand new printer that I had to buy about a week ago. For those of you who are trying to look for an inexpensive-ish way to do prints, either like as giveaways or just for promo or something, I had picked up this printer, the Canon G7020. It's a Pixma. It's the same, I guess, like printer class as my oversized Canon printer that I have here. The only difference that this is an eco tank, whichever one you want to say. So this is an eco tank, which means that it uses liquid ink instead of cartridges. So in the end, I decided to get that because I was hearing a lot of good things about eco tanks. And the fact that, yeah, it's like you're paying a little bit more in the front for the actual printer. But the fact that you're using liquid ink, and you can see, and the tanks are actually pretty large, and supposedly this thing can do like 6,000 full color prints. Well, I guess if you're doing text and color, it's like I'm going to be doing like running art prints through this. So, I'm sure it'll be probably half the amount. But just the fact that if I could get 3,000 prints out of it, that would be really good. So, yeah, so it's an all-in-one, which I was happy with. And the thing that I really liked is that it has a back feeder on it, which means that you're supposed to be able to run, specialty papers and envelopes and all this. And so it's like I said, you know what? It's like I need an all-in-one. I need the scanner. I need the batch scanner. It has a flatbed on it, but I needed the document feeder on it too. So for an all-in-one, I figured, you know what? I need one anyway because I do all my color proofs on this. I don't do this on the large one. No, I don't. It's like I do it on the little one. So my last one broke down, so I figured let me pick this one up. And so far it's been great, to tell you the truth. It was really easy to set up. It was literally plug and play. I just plugged it in and my computer recognized it as a printer like that. I didn't have to, like, they even sent me a CD. Who uses CDs anymore? Every computer and laptop that I get now has no CD capacity on it. I mean, I had to buy an external Blu-ray player just to be able to have it play Blu-rays, so, but it was just, and it worked, and I just followed the instructions and it's set up really quickly. And today, actually last night, what I did was, when I got the printer and saw the back feeder, the rear feeder, I decided to buy some specialty inkjet paper from Strathmore that they made. Strathmore, which makes art paper, they make, I guess it's like they make their own line of inkjet papers. So I bought their watercolor paper. I should have had it, but so I ran it through the printer and just doing a test print, and I am really impressed by how it works. Now, the thing is, though, it's like, unfortunately, on camera, you can't see this paper is beautifully textured. It's watercolor paper, and, so I did a level, I did a level on my campaign right now where it was a limited time special that had this print on it. And I go, oh, I think it would be nice to do something on really, like really nice paper. And yeah, and it looks like, and then I put my little stamp, my Eagle Raven stamp on the back. So it looks kind of official. Like, you really have to see this in person. The watercolor paper, like I said, it's Strathmore. Let me see if I could put it. I can get, let me see. Where is my orders? Here it is. So for anybody who wants to try it out themselves, if you have an inkjet printer, so this is the paper that I was able to, that I bought for this. It's by Strathmore. So like I said, I was more inclined to buy it than some kind of no-name brand. But yeah, I really love the way that came out. I mean, I think for what is supposed to be the dinky printer, I think I can I can actually make prints on this. Actually, no, the paper is really thick. The paper is really thick. Like I said, it's watercolor paper. Oh, because Patrick's asking, stamping ink on both sides won't result in bleed through, and it's like, no, that's not what I'm seeing here. This is nice, like this is watercolor paper, so yeah, I have no bleed through whatsoever. You don't even get like a hint of it. I mean, you'd have if you hold it up to the light, you can see through it. But honestly, on its own, you don't see anything through this. So I definitely recommend this paper and the printer, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm really impressed by it. And also, look, I like the fact that it's ink, it's liquid ink. So I can buy off-brand replacements for it. I'm not forced. I think so. I think so. It's whatever it is. Let me see. It's like I said, it's let me see. Let's see here. 80-pound weight. So this is 80-pound watercolor paper for inkjet. So yeah, so I'm really happy with it. So yeah, so if you're looking for kind of like an inexpensive printer, yeah, definitely I recommend the all-in-one Echo Tank. Remember, just to get the one with the rear tray, because that's the one, because you can't put this paper in a standard tray where it curls up. It has to be able to go straight through without curling. So you need a rear tray for that. So yeah, so I'm excuse me. So yeah, so I was really impressed by it. I really was. So I'm really happy with that. And it's like, yeah, maybe more. I can do a little bit more, more artsy prints for Kickstarters or whatnot on it. At least that way, I can save my large format printer for exactly that. If I'm doing anything larger than 8.5 by 11, because my large format Pixma, I think it does up to 13 by something. I think it goes like 13 inches wide. And then whatever length of paper, whatever you can run through it, that's what runs through it. But it can do, I think, up to 18 inches wide. But it runs on cartridges. So I usually use this to make blue lines, although I haven't been using it for a while, since I started doing all my work in Clip Studio Paint. But the thing is, though, it's like, since I was only using it for blue lines, the inks lasted a long time. But if I really start using this for prints, they're not going to last that long. And the cartridges do get, the inkjet cartridges do get expensive after a while. I think for an entire set of 8 is like just shy over $100 to get the 8 inks that this runs on. The other one, the smaller one, just runs on your regular CMYK, which is fine. Honestly, it's like, look, I guess, like, unless you're using really, really specific colors, that maybe you probably need the one that has like the 8 ink cartridges, because the more inks you have in a printer, the higher the quality of your colors you're going to get. But honestly, it's like I said, unless you're using very specific colors, I honestly don't see the difference. I would probably have to do like a side-by-side comparison, like run the same image on both and see see if there's a difference. And honestly, I think that you'll see more. I think like the bigger difference is if you're using traditional media. Because honestly, with flat colors, it's like for me, it's like, I don't know, it's all the same to me. So, even, even when I have to convert files to CMYK, everyone says, "Oh, be careful with your colors," and this and the other. And it's like, I've never had a problem converting colors to CMYK, converting files and like getting that drastic. I've never gotten that drastic of a color shift. So yeah, so highly recommend it. And definitely, yeah, and the paper too. I was really impressed by that. So speaking of my printer, the other thing that also came in with my order, just to show everybody, I got, well, this proof I had for a while. This is Tales from the Outer Kingdom. This is the shorts collection, the In Canon shorts collection. Technically, this goes with Heir of the First Unicorn, the main series. So this I had for a while. So because I had this book done for a bit, but I finally got the proofs for the Unicorn King's Daughter and Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut. I am just giddy beyond belief to get finally have these books in my hands. I mean, it just remember it was about almost a year ago that I made the joke on Facebook that everybody tittered about, and now the joke has come full circle into full color comics, alternate universe comics. Like I said, it's on Kickstarter right now in its final 7 days. So it closes next Friday. So if you want to pick up your copies of this now, just to show you. So this is the main book, The Unicorn King's Daughter, and it is a parody of the Conan the Barbarian story, the Frost Giant's daughter. And I swear to God, I am so happy this spread was killing me. Like I was messing with the measurements so much, and I was really, really worried that it wasn't going to print correctly, and it printed flawlessly. And I am just so thrilled that I worked so hard on trying to get this spread to work correctly, and because I had to extend the borders, and it was a whole thing. So I was just really happy with it. So I'm not going to go too much further into the book, but just so that you could see it in its full printed glory, I couldn't be happier. And of course, this is the adults only supplement, which I literally can only show you the first page, because after that first page, it's all in the title. Let's just say that it lives up to the title. So these two books essentially go together. You read this one first, and then you read this one. It's kind of like the same story, but with two very, very different endings. I had a good time making these, and I hope that everyone has a good time reading them as well. So I'm very happy with that I finally got the proofs for that. Once Jose gets his books from the Oswald Chronicles, he's going to be placing another order for everybody who pledged to Magi's Grace. That's the next book we're going to be getting to the printer, and hopefully getting back in a much more timely manner than we got these books. And I will be proofing Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, issue 8. Which, if you didn't see Monday's show, I finally completed issue 8. And it's like, and of course I just have to gush about Clip Studio Paint again. If I wasn't doing this book completely in Clip Studio Paint, I think I would still be inking it right now. There was scenes in here that if I was doing them traditionally, I would be dragging my ass on them, and I think that I would still be in the inking phase had I been doing this traditionally. But because of Clip Studio Paint and everything that I'm learning about it, I think I actually did this book a much faster, and having it done. It just felt like yesterday I was just penciling this. Actually, it was the end of July. So I think I started really working on this, and I just finished this about a week ago. So I'm going to be getting a proof out for this as well. So at least I'll have one book ready for next year. And then I have to proof the trade paperback for volume 2. And then hopefully the next set of proofs I'm going to get is all the Tall Tales, Tears of the Mother books that we're going to also be re-releasing. We did, when we originally printed those books, it was with another printer, so I have to tweak all of the files. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to go through the Illustrator files and kind of like check over the lettering and the spelling and all that, check all that over. So we'll have like a whole new at least like a revamped version of those files. So a lot, yeah. So I'm just getting like I am just barreling to the end of the year with everything on my list. Also, I'm very excited because tomorrow I am finally going to, it's like, get off my ass and finally record the audio book, or at least the audio portion of the prequel, my illustrated prequel, Legend of the Silk Rose. It is a This is a like I said, it's an illustrated prequel that I did for Eagle Raven. This is technically the first book. It takes place 20 years before issue 1, and I'm finally going to record the audio for this. So I could finally offer an audio version of this book for everybody, who wants to listen to it instead of reading it. So yeah, so I'm excited. So yeah, so a lot. I'm getting a lot done. I am getting a lot done. So yeah, so so I guess to finally get into the topic of the day, um, so the other day, Jose had shown me I guess a newsletter that Tyler Carpenter had done, and which is strange because I thought I was on his mailing list already too. So, but Jose got it, I didn't. So I have to check. I have to check to see if I'm still subscribed to that. I could have sworn I subscribed to it, but so what happened was that Tyler, I guess, got into a little kerfuffle with some so-called professionals. Again, I try to stop using the word professional very loosely because, as Jose reminds me, the word professional does have an incredibly loose definition. And that just because someone is professional in one thing doesn't mean that they're professional in another. It doesn't mean that they're professional in everything. So Tyler was arguing with so I guess it all started with some people leaving Marvel, I guess, or DC, and they're going to form their own collective at Image. And and the thing is that so Jose was telling me about this, like it's like, oh, they're going to be the next Image at Image, kind of like something stupid like that. And I couldn't tell you who these people are because I don't give a shit. It's like it's like whoever, like people who consider themselves professionals, at Marvel and DC or whatnot. It's like I really couldn't care less. Something called Ghost Machine, they're going by that. It's like I don't know. It's like I said, I don't know the full details on that. So okay, so these professionals are going over to Image to create their own little collective, a little shared universe or whatever. And like I said, I don't really care, but this was kind of like the catalyst of this discussion. And what happened was that I guess Tyler had seen some, I guess, lower level professionals, I guess, I don't know, complaining, like kind of like saying that's like, oh, it's like it's like, oh, they should be helping us. It's like they're not taking submissions. They're kind of like closed door. It's just going to be them. Oh, okay. So Larry is saying, led by Jeff Johns, Ghost Machine is an imprint of Image, exclusive to Image, and they're going to be the next Image. Okay, like I said, the details of it, I don't really, like I said, I don't know who these people are, and I don't care really. But like I said, it was enough of a catalyst for this conversation, which Larry was a part of as well. So Tyler, right? So Tyler was like, guess I don't know, like what exactly, like. Well, let's just say so. Tyler put his 2 cents in. It's like, why are you worried about whether they're going to allow you in or not? It's like, and they kind of didn't appreciate, just to put it mildly, to put it kindly, they didn't appreciate Tyler's advice. And because what Tyler was saying, it's like, why are you, waiting for somebody else to why are you waiting for somebody else to let you in their little cool kids club when you could be doing, you could be marketing yourself, you could be selling your own books, And like I said, they didn't appreciate his advice. So all mayhem broke out, and pretty much, and it's like, and they were like fighting back and forth because they were literally the implication that these low end professionals were saying is that that if you do independent comics, you don't count, you have no legitimacy, you don't, it's like you're not real, you're not legitimate, and that in order to be legitimate, you have to be with a publisher, and stupid shit, you know, stupid shit. So and of course, like Tyler's trying to tell us, like, look, if you did this, that, and the other thing, you don't need you don't need this, it's like you can build it yourself, it's like why beg for a seat at the table when you can build your own table and build your own chairs, and invite your own people. And they were like going, fuck you, Tyler, and it was, and that's pretty much how, like the only reason, he makes money on on Kickstarter is because, oh, you do YouTube videos or whatnot. So it was very volatile. It was very, very volatile, the conversation. And, so of course, Tyler did a video with Larry about this. And it's like, so it's like, well, a lot of people want to be an Image. They see Image as a big time for indies. It's the brass ring many reach for, and they view the pros coming into Image as gatekeeping. Yeah, it's like, well, it's their gate to keep, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of how I look at it, it's like, honestly, there was never at one point I ever saw Image as like, oh, a brass ring. Like, oh, if you get to Image, you've made it. I mean, it's like, look, we've seen plenty of independent creators end up at Image and then disappear because they couldn't get the sales numbers they needed to continue to pay Image's cut and then continue printing. So it's like, if you ask me, being an Image isn't any better for anybody than than doing it yourself, really, And even then, who is it really good for? In the end, it's only really good for the people who have worked professionally in Marvel and DC. They move over to Image to do their own shit, right? And then maybe they go back to Marvel and DC once they do their little cute thing and then move on, right? So so it's like, yeah, so Jose was reading I guess like Tyler's manifesto. I wish I had it. But I probably have to make sure I'm subscribed and get his but it's like, we're talking about it now. So the thing that so Tyler had mentioned a couple of things. I don't quite remember everything, but there was a couple of things that I remembered. But yeah, Larry, and that was the funny thing too, because then it's like, we all remember these articles from Bleeding Cool about these, about creators at Image begging people to buy their stuff. It's like, yeah, you can be an Image, you can be on a top tier shelf in a comic book store, but if people aren't buying your stuff, that you have to go on Bleeding Cool to beg people to buy their books because, oh, if we don't sell 3,000 copies, we can't afford to continue the series. I mean, so it's like, what good is that? It's like in the end, it's like, what are you fighting for? um and so one thing that Tyler, that really, I guess, like really got in Tyler's craw, right? Because like, Tyler's always talking about, look, it's like, learn marketing. It's like marketing. It's like, if you learn how to market your own stuff, you don't need these guys. You don't need, people to, to who don't know you for anybody to lift you up. And look, and we know how all this works. They're not going to lift up some rando from the comic sphere. They're going to pick and choose their friends, whatever, you know how that works. It's like you don't get into. I mean, you have to be like some kind of brilliant for anyone at Image to even look your way. And even then, most of the times, like, oh yeah, I know this guy, I know this guy, I know this guy. Like you have to literally know them. So that doesn't surprise me. But like I said, it's like it's their gate to keep, right? You don't let just anybody in your house, right? And so it's like, but the thing is, it's like, but that's what, that's what Tyler was trying to explain to these low level wannabes, right? Is that, look, if you learn how to market, if you learn marketing, you learn how to promote yourself, you learn how social media works into your favor, you don't need them, right? But I guess what it boils down to is that there are people who are just destined to be employees for the rest of their lives. They can, it's like you can give them every opportunity to kind of build their own stuff. And it's like, no, they don't want that. It's like, no, I want to work for somebody. I want to work for a publisher, that I still might fail at, and and it's like, look, in the end, it's like these people, there just comes a point where it's not worth talking to them, or explaining anything to them. And the thing is, like, to say that, and then it's like for them to turn around and say that, oh, you're not legitimate unless you work at a publisher, unless your stuff is being printed at a publisher. And it's like, I'm like going like, look, I've been doing this again since 92. Nobody told me there was a comics pope. I had no idea that there was a pope that I had to get the blessing of in order to do my comics. I just did my comics. I just did it. Jose just did his comics. We just printed. We just published. That's all we did. We went to conventions. We have never, it's like, yeah, did we work at a publisher? Yeah, we worked at CPM. We did La Blue Girl. We did Demon Beast. We did Tenchi Muyo with Pioneer. Did that make us any more legitimate than when we were doing our own thing? No, it's just another thing that we did. So for anybody, especially, like I said, some low tier wannabe crying about how if you're not, it's like, look, honey, one, you got to remember your personal preference is not a general consensus. It's like, if you think that you can't be anybody without being at a publisher, that's a you thing. Okay. That has nothing to do with me. Because in the end, you have to ask yourself, what are they gatekeeping you from? Are they gatekeeping you from doing your own comic? Are they gatekeeping you from printing your stuff through a POD printer or any type of printer? Are they gatekeeping you from running your stuff on Kickstarter and making 15 grand on your own? Which, by the way, you get to keep a bigger chunk of that money than you would ever. If you making 15 grand on Kickstarter is worth more than you making 15 grand at selling 15 grand worth of stuff at a publisher, so it's like, so it's like, in the end, it's like, who's stopping you? Even if you weren't printing, even if it's like, look, zines is a whole thing. Have Xerox machine will travel. If you have access to a Xerox machine, you're a comic book creator. You do comics, you draw comics, and you're just as legitimate as any one of these assholes begging, to be part of this roster that doesn't even want them either. So I mean, so it's like, so that part, it's like, and also the thing is too, is that, in the end, it's like, who are these people? Who are these people? What is it about them that you need their approval, to do your comics? I mean, like I said, I don't know, and I don't care who the fuck Jeff Johns is. I really don't. So does it matter to me if he looks this way and goes, oh, you guys aren't real? It's like, I don't know, the work I'm putting out seems real enough for me. Who are you? So so that's something that I just wanted everybody like to keep in but are you a creator making money with a Xerox machine? I mean, you could be. It's like I see it all the time. You go to MoCA, you go to these smaller conventions, and they're people printing their own shit. It's like they're taking a printer that I just showed everybody, and they're making their own comics and they're selling it. And in the end, it's like, oh, because here's the thing too, that the one thing that I did have a little bone of contention with that Tyler had said, but it's all love. So that he had said, because the thing that really irked him, and not that I blame him, right? So you talk about you talk about these people, right? These low end wannabes, right? And they're talking about, oh, it's all about the art, it's all about the art, it's all about the art, it's not about the money, right? While at the same time they're complaining that their shit's not selling. That it's like, oh, I can't find an audience. I can't do this. I can't pay my bills. Now, you see, the funny thing is that they're complaining about that at Image too. So, it's like, again, it's like you had these creators at Image that put out articles on Bleeding Cool, literally saying, like, oh, we can't make money. We're not making money at this. We need you to buy, 3,000 copies or we can't continue. So, it's like, what? Wouldn't you rather have that problem on your own terms? Than if you're at Image and having the exact same problem, not selling your book, right? And and Tyler was saying it's 100% about the money, right? That it's like, don't say it's about the art, not the money, because it's 100% about the money. And that's where I disagree with him, because I think it's 50% about the money. Because me personally, I don't really do this for the money. It's nice, but I'm in a position where I don't have to do it for the money. And like I said before, if I got to a point where I needed these books to make money, I just go get a job, because that's easier money to make, so that I can focus on my work just being its own thing. Right? So that's me. Okay? That's me. So I'm in a position where I'm privileged enough that I can focus on the art, on the story, on that. I can prioritize that. You see, I don't want to say, I prioritize the art and the storytelling, but it doesn't mean I don't ignore the marketing. It doesn't mean that I ignore, okay, I still have to make money on this, in the end, my time isn't free. So I still have to make money on it. Right. So how do I do that? It's like, I get the book, we all talk about, this is the book that Tyler told me to read. I am reading it. I am studying it. It's like, I still have to do the next couple of chapters because I've just been so wrapped up in creating the books. Right. But the thing is, though, is that it's like kind of what Tyler says. Why not both? Why can't it be both about the art and the marketing? And that I agree with. I think that we're, especially all of us, we're all in a space here where it's like we are creating our work. We are, selling it on Kickstarter or whatever crowdfunding, we're doing this ourselves. And it's like, look, if you happen to be one of the fortunate ones that ends up getting a seat at the mainstream table, congratulations, but in the end, we're all still doing the same thing, because it's like, because in the end, we have to. The days of the publisher doing all that marketing work for you is over. It's been over. It's like, even in book publishing, traditional book publishing, like, publishers don't even want to talk to you unless you're raising that type of money on Kickstarter, unless you're selling. Like, honestly, publishers love independent books. If they see you making money, they love you, because it means that they don't have to do anything. You're already doing all the work for them. They don't have to promote you, which they don't anymore anyway. They don't have to find an audience for you. You're already coming with that. So it's like, so in the end, as much as you want to say it's about the art, it's about the art, even if you want to work at Image or Marvel or DC, you still have to prove yourself to these companies that you can promote yourself, that you have an audience that will buy your books. You still have to prove yourself there, because they're not going to do that work for you. Not anymore. So in the end, is that, it's kind of like you need, in the end, you still have to do that marketing work, now the thing is, though, is that, okay, now, if you want to go to a publisher, that go right ahead, but the thing is, though, is that, like I said, it's like, I've worked at publishers before, and like I said, the work that I did for them was no different than the work that I did for myself, and here's the thing. It's like, yeah, you can use a publisher, if you can get one, if you can find one, you can use you can use the publisher to help build your audience. But here's the thing. You still have to understand who your audience is to begin with, because the thing is it's kind of like, yeah, I could build an audience on Facebook, I can build an audience on YouTube, but will those people follow me if I'm not on those platforms? And the same thing is with a publisher. I kind of remember, like a couple, I guess, when Marvel was firing a lot of people, and what happened was that, like, they fired, like, these at the time were kind of like name creators. And what these creators were finding out the very, very hard way is that they didn't have as big of an audience as they thought they did once they were forced to kind of move out on their own, and that's kind of like, and I know that some of them panicked, like, holy shit, here I was thinking that I was big shit at Marvel, when in the end it was the book that I was working on, right? And then that's why these people can only function working on IPs for publishers, because they don't know how, because in the end, imagine finding out the hard way that people aren't really a fan of you, but the character, but the IP that you're working on, and and the thing is, though, so it's like, again, it's like, yeah, you can build your audience at a publisher, but who really owns that audience? Whose audience is that really? If you were to go back to running your books on Kickstarter, would that audience follow you? So it's like, but in the end, it's like, I think that if you understand how to market yourself and what it is you're offering, and and just knowing how to sell your book in general, that you should be able to hold on to as much of that audience as possible. But you have to know this stuff first, and the easiest / hardest way to figure it out is by figuring out on your own with your own book. It's like, look, I always mention, it's like, when I did that top 200 most funded comics on Kickstarter, right? The one thing, the common denominator with all the comics that I saw in that top 200, and these are books making 100,000 to $1 million, right? The one thing they all had in common is audience. that they had an audience that they built outside of Kickstarter, whether it's on their own or through a publisher, that they built an audience that followed them to Kickstarter and made their and they made their money that way. Like, that's how they ended up in that category. I mean, it's like, Brian Pulido didn't come out of nowhere. He spent almost 40 years building this up, and I just thought it was kind of a waste that Tyler was arguing with people who, it's like, they just wanted to show up, and it's like, oh, I don't have to build anything. And it's like, I don't have to do that. Oh, that's, that's peasant work. Marketing is peasant work. Yeah, it's peasant work, if you want but you want the company to do it. You want the publisher to do it, which we've already established that the publisher is not going to do. You still have to do that, because like I said, I don't see the point on being with Image Comics and then begging for people to buy your books. I don't see the point in that. I really don't. Actually, I think that's kind of pathetic, really. That's really pathetic. You go through all that effort to latch on like a lamprey to that Image name, and you're struggling just the same than if you were just doing it yourself. I don't know, man. I think that, I would rather struggle under, doing my own thing than working for a publisher, working on some like IP or something and succeeding at that and not being able to transfer those peoples over to the thing that I do want. I mean, but like I said, that's just me. It's like, I think that the moral of Tyler's thing is that, one, don't look at those people as like, don't go notice me senpai to these people. They don't give a shit, and neither should you. They're not they're not they don't legitimize you, and they don't need you to legitimize them. So don't think that, oh, you need, some, like I said, some low level wannabe to bless you with, oh, you're a real comic book creator. Are you doing comics? You're creating comics. That's period. That's all that is. Now, at what all the other levels, it's like, whether you just want to do zines on a Xerox machine, or you're printing out your own books for a local convention, or whether you're looking for a publisher, those are just other levels to the same journey. Those are just other forks in the road. There we go. They're just other forks in the road. But the main thing is that I always notice you, Patrick. I always notice you. It's like, but you're doing comics. There is no comics pope to say that you're not doing comics. You're doing comics. Look, it's like, it's like, whether you're doing some shit that looks like Mike Diana, or you're doing, or you're John Byrne putting out a bootleg X-Men comic on his newsletter, it's like, you're doing comics no matter what. There's nobody who's going to say you're legitimate or not legitimate, and it shouldn't matter. Are you doing the book you want to do? Are you doing what you want to do? That's what matters. It's like, what? There comes a point. I know Tyler keeps complaining that it's like pearls before swine, right? That it's like he's giving this information, right? And these guys are like, "Oh, fuck you, Tyler." You and your titty books, you only sell because you're on YouTube. And it's like, well, it's a combination of things, actually. It's a whole combination of things. But what it boils down to is that they don't want to accept the fact that somebody could just come in and do what they're begging somebody else to do for them, when they could have been doing it themselves. That's what they're uptight about. If anybody looks down on independent comics, it's because of that. Because nobody is telling us no. We're not jumping through hoops for anybody. It's like I said on Monday, we are feral as fuck. And there are people who can't stand that, you know? And it's like that there is no trap and release for us. It's like I said, it's like at the lowest level, you have access to a Xerox machine, you can do a comic. You know, now what you want to aspire to is just another, like I said, it's another road for you to go on. But are you doing comics? Then you're doing comics. That's that, period. You know, everything else is just another part of your journey that only you can decide how you're going to accomplish that. You know, but it's like it's like, do it for the art, do it for the money. Can you do both? Absolutely. You know, but also if you're going to do it for the art, then you have to accept the consequence of that just being the only thing you focus on, which means that most likely you're going to be a broke motherfucker. If you just do it for the art, that's going to be, you know, that might be a truth of it, you know. Just like if you're just doing it for the money, do it, you know, do what you need to do. You know, I don't need to do that, but if you need to do that, go ahead and do that. But also, what's the consequence of that? That people are not going to take your art seriously. Oh, well, you're just doing it for the money. You're just, you know, you're just catering to trends. You're just making stuff for a speculator bubble, or oh, you're only selling this to your YouTube sycophants or whatever, you know. It's like, but the thing is though, it's like, look, if this is where you want to be, then you have to accept that. Just like if being an artiste is where you want to be, you know, I hope, you know, you get a side job that you enjoy to help you support that, you know. You know, but like I said, there is no comic book pope. It's like these publishers really don't care or not. The only thing they care about is whether you can make money for them. That's all they care about. That's the only key you're going to get from them. That's the only key. You know, can you make, and the thing is though, if you're making money for yourself, why would you want to share that with a publisher? But again, depends on what your goal is. You know, Larry said, it's like, well, you could use a publisher to build your audience. Like, sure, you can do that, you know, but at the same time, I could not work with publisher either and be just fine the way I am, you know? So that's so that's kind of like my little rant for today. Before we go, we have a couple. I know we're a little top of the hour, but I promised I would do this. So okay, hold on. Where's my thing? You know, so let's run through a whole bunch of campaigns that I have listed here, just to give everybody a quick pop. So like I said, Eagle Raven, the Unicorn's King's Daughter, everything is on Kickstarter unless otherwise noted. I'm also going to try to put the link in the chat as well. Everything's in the show notes. If you go to our Indie Comics Facebook, our promotions page, all the campaigns here are listed there as well, but I'll also put them in the chat. So thank you so much to the 190 backers who pledged to my campaign, Eagle Raven, the Unicorn King's Daughter. We have 6 more days to go. And remember that it's sister campaign, Sky of Thorns, the first volume in a 3-volume romance fantasy novel set by Krista Crawford. She has 7 days to go. And remember, if you pledge to both our campaigns, you get a bonus collaboration print for pledging to both our campaigns. The Oswald Chronicles, The Light That Attracts, issues 1 through 4 is also, it's on pre-launch right now. Jose says that he's waiting for his books to come in from the previous campaign before he launches this one. So once he gets those books, he's launching. So make sure you hit that notify me on launch so that, so you get notified when the campaign goes live. Local area phenom. I actually saw his poster in a local tattoo shop when I was going to the post office. It was just really funny to see it in
in the meat space. Star Noir Book 2 is also on Kickstarter. 27 days to go. I'm just putting the link in the show notes by Tony James. Check that out as well. Here we go. And of course, our very own Sam Vera. There's an alien in my toilet. Issue 6 of a 10 issue series on Kickstarter. He has 12 days to go. Help my man make $1,000 on this campaign and reach some stretch goals on it. So again, I'm just putting that in the chat as well. Demon Bitch, I Hate You All, the Kickstarter by Christy Shin, is also available. She has 6 days to go on her campaign. Again, I'm putting the link in the chat as I'm going through each of these campaigns. Grant, are you still in the chat? Grant, his book Beowulf 1 through 6, the adventure that spans centuries, also on Kickstarter. 24 days to go. He's almost funded. So again, link is in the chat. And of course, John Celestri's Fire Fist Angel Book 2 is also on Kickstarter. And yes, he has 12 days ago. Thank you. He's this close to funding. This close. It's a digest-sized black and white book. It works really, really well in black and white. So pick up a copy before that campaign ends. And our very own Hojo, his campaign. This one is on Fund My Comic, The Mythicals. This is issue 2. I'm pretty sure you can get all the previous any previous issues and variants on his campaign. He's already funded. Congratulations, Hojo. He still has a while to go. 54 days. But why wait? Pledge today, as I always say. Then we have Nobody's Princess by Marcus McNeil. I always have to double check. I don't know everybody's name, by memory. This is also on Kickstarter as well. He's in his last 74 hours. He's very, very close to funding. Hold on. I just put in the Mythicals twice again. Hold on. So let me put the link for this in the chat. Nobody's Princess, issues 1 through 3. And then we have, here's an interesting one, the Mega Droid Activate, a comic and heavy metal record. If all of you are familiar with Nelson Faro DeFranco, he did a iconic Ghost Rider cover and a whole bunch of iconic covers for Marvel. And he has his book out, his first, I think this might be his first solo comic with a heavy metal record, because I didn't know. I went to school with him at SVA, and I didn't know he had a heavy metal band. So his campaign is live right now. Now we have Quest issues 1 through 2, another fantasy adventure. If you're into fantasy comics, there's there's a lot of them on Kickstarter. But I'll give a shout out to Scott Harris and his comic. This one is a pre-launch. So again, hit the notify me button so that you get notified when the campaign goes live. And to mix it up a bit, so the Feral Court, a deluxe not safe for work special edition Dark Omegaverse novel. I just backed this book, and boy, if you are into Omegaverse, and if you don't know what Omegaverse is, just look it up. It's an offshoot from Supernatural fandom. I don't know how it offshot from the show with the two assholes in the car. But yeah, so I just pledged to this campaign, so figure I give it a shout out, a final shout out as well. And one more shout out, one more kind of romance fantasy novel series, only because I absolutely adore the artwork on this set. So it's going to get a special shout out for me. Special edition omnibus set, Accidental and Alien Brides. So if you're into reading that kind of stuff, here's where you can find it. So thank you so much. So thank you so much for letting me go through that bit. Like I said, I put all the links in the chat as well. So here we are at the end of, I think, another successful hour. Like I said, it's like, let's all wish Nita well, so that we can get back to somewhat normal, hopefully next week, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. We're just going to take it a day at a, a step at a time, a day at a time, and then we'll just go on with what we do here. So again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. Thank you so much for everybody in the chat. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, please check out the chat. There's a lot of gold in there. The people who join us, everybody who joins. Look, I call them all sexy people to begin with, for a reason, because you know what? They really know how to keep the conversation going and adding their 2 cents in the chat when I can't get to it. So make sure you check out the chat and everybody there. And thank you so much to my beautiful eyeball people who lasted the hour-ish, with me, keeping me company. Thank you so much. You're all always appreciated. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and everything that I do, including all my campaigns, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you are interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And remember that you could also catch me on YouTube. Where am I? You know what? I'm not going to bother with the cards. It's like I'm all mixed up already. You can find me on YouTube with not only my videos on how I make my work, but my semi-weekly art live streams that I run on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. 2 hours of me working on artwork and and just babbling of whatever, whatever topic happens to come to mind. And also remember that you can read Ego Raven, Air the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. Let me do this here. Ego Raven, Air the First Unicorn. You can read it for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com, where not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Like I said, we all wish Nita a very, very speedy recovery so she can get back doing the nonsense she loves doing so much, and yeah, so thank you so much. And remember, in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, both literally and figuratively, and do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much, everybody, again, and we'll see you next time.